Hello everyone, greetings of the day. So this is an important information related to CA final transition provisions which are released by ICAI for the students who want to make a transition from 2017 scheme to 2023 scheme. So before going further, let us try to understand the disclaimer that the information based in this document is our understanding of the norms released by ICAI as on 10th January 2024. So before taking any decision, it is a better idea that you personally visit the ICAI website, check out the latest norms as on that date where you are taking the decision, and you need to update yourself with the latest information before taking any decision or action. So we are providing our understanding of the norms released by ICAI. You need to thoroughly check the ICAI website and update yourself with the latest things as on that date where you are taking the decision. Now, first of all, let us try to understand the papers in old scheme and new scheme. In CA final old scheme, the papers are 8 in number. Paper 1 is financial reporting, paper 2 is strategic financial management, paper 3 is auditing and professional ethics, paper 4 is corporate and economic laws, paper 5 SCM and PE, paper 6 is an elective paper, paper 7 direct laws, paper 8 indirect laws. And coming to the new scheme, you have 6 papers instead of 8 in number. The paper 1 in new scheme is financial reporting, paper 2 is advanced financial management, paper 3 advanced auditing, assurance and professional ethics, paper 4 direct tax laws and international taxation, paper 5 indirect tax laws, paper 6 integrated business solutions. And now, what about the self-paced online modules in the new scheme? In the new scheme, you have 4 self-paced online modules. So the first one is referred to as set A with the name corporate and economic laws, and set B is strategic cost and performance management, and set C is a specialization paper. There are many electives given. You have to choose one of those electives. And set D is a multidisciplinary paper that is also related to electives. You need to select one of the electives. Now, the most important information: when can a student appear for self-paced online modules? So many students are having confusion regarding this for appearing and for taking self-paced online modules. So here is the clarity for all such students. So if a student have appeared in CA final under the old scheme and converting to new scheme, you are exempted from attempting self-paced online modules of set C and set D. So if you have appeared CA final under old scheme and you want to convert to the new scheme, you have to definitely do set A and set B of self-paced modules, and you need not attempt set C and set D of the self-paced modules. And students who have converted from the existing scheme to the new scheme and appear for CA final exams in May 2024 under new scheme, you may qualify for applicable self-paced online modules even after qualifying May 2024 exams. This is a big relief to the students who are writing in May 2024 exams. So you can qualify self-paced learning modules even after May 2024 exams. But you have to qualify these self-paced learning modules before applying for membership. This is the most important thing you need to remember. Now, however, after May 2024 exams, every student shall be eligible for subsequent exams only upon qualifying the respective self-paced online modules. What's the meaning of this? For example, you have attempted May 2024 exams without qualifying self-paced modules and you did not qualify in May 2024 and you want to write exams in November 2024 attempt. Then before November 2024 attempt, you need to clear the self-paced modules. Now, a student is declared to have qualified for self-paced online module if he or she secures a minimum of 50% marks in that module. And there will be no restriction on the number of attempts for each module. You can take any number of attempts you choose for each module. but the condition is that you need to get 50% marks in each self-paced learning module. And the marks that are secured in self-paced online modules will not be aggregated in the marks obtained in the final examination. So the marks that you get in the self-paced learning modules will not be added to the final marks of your CA final examination. This is another piece of important information. And now comes the most valuable information, that is paper-wise exemption in new scheme. For example, if a student has qualified and if a student is having exemption in paper 1 of the old scheme, then that student will also get an exemption in paper 1 in new scheme. If a student is having exemption in paper 2 in old scheme, then he will be exempted in paper 2 in the new scheme. And if a student is having exemption in paper 3 in the old scheme, he will be exempted from writing paper 3 in the new scheme. And if a student is having exemption in paper 4 in the old scheme, he will be given an exemption for self-paced online module set A. This is the most important thing you need to focus. And if a student is having exemption in paper 5 in the old scheme, then he will be given exemption in self-paced online module set B in the new scheme. And if a student is having exemption in paper 6 in the old scheme, he will be given an exemption in paper 6 in the new scheme. And if a student is having exemption in paper 7 in the old scheme, he will be given exemption in paper 4 in the new scheme. And if a student is having exemption in paper 8 in the old scheme, then he will be given exemption in paper 5 in the new scheme. So this is the clarity regarding the exemptions. And now, the most important thing, a little bit complex, which you need to pay a lot of attention. That is, what will happen if a student of CA final of 2017 scheme is unable to qualify both groups in November 2023 attempt? Now, this is the criteria, and basing on that, let us try to analyze. So, for example, in the old scheme, you have completed group 1 and you don't have any exemption in any paper of group 2. Then what you should do? You should write paper 4, paper 5 and paper 6 in the new scheme, and you need to qualify self-paced online module set B. This is the clarity you need to have. But don't forget, in all the cases that we are going to discuss right now, you should definitely score 50% in each paper. That is mandatory. And now, let us look at the next case. If a student has completed group 1 and he is having exemption in paper 5 of group 2, then such students, what they need to do in the new scheme? They have to write paper 4, paper 5 and paper 6 in the new scheme. And if a student has completed group 1 and he is having exemption in paper 6 of group 2, in such a case, the student should write paper 4 and paper 5 in new scheme, and he need to qualify self-paced online module set B. This is the thing you need to remember. And if a student has completed group 1 and having exemption in paper 7 of group 2, then such student should write paper 5 and paper 6 in new scheme, and they need to definitely qualify self-paced online module set B. If a student has qualified group 1 and he got exemption in paper 8 of group 2, then such student should write paper 4 and paper 6 in the new scheme, and he need to qualify self-paced online module set B. Now, if a student has completed group 1 and he got exemption in paper 5 and paper 6 of group 2, then he shall write paper 4 and paper 5 in new scheme. And on the other hand, if a student has completed group 1 and having exemption in paper 5 and paper 7 of group 2, then he shall write paper 5 and paper 6 in new scheme. And if a student has completed group 1 and he is having exemption in paper 5 and paper 8 of group 2, then such student shall attempt paper 4 and paper 6 in the new scheme. If a student has completed group 1 and has got exemption in paper 6 and paper 7 of group 2, then he shall write paper 5 in new scheme and he shall qualify self-paced online module set B. Now another case, a student has completed group 1 and he got exemption in paper 6 and paper 8 of group 2. Then such student shall write paper 4 in the new scheme and he needs to qualify self-paced online module set B. And now another case, a student has completed group 1 and he got exemption in paper 7 and paper 8 of group 2 and he shall write paper 6 in the new scheme and he needs to qualify self-paced online module set B. So this is all about group 1. Now let us switch to group 2. For example, a student has completed group 2 and there is no exemption in any of the papers of group 1. Then such student shall write paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3 in the new scheme and they need to definitely qualify self-paced online module set A. Now the next case, a student has cleared his group 2 and he got exemption in paper 1 of group 1. Then such student need to write paper 2 and paper 3 in the new scheme and they need to qualify self-paced module set A. And another case, a student completed group 2 and he got exemption in paper 2 of group 1. Then he need to write paper 1 and paper 3 in the new scheme and he need to qualify self-paced module set A. And a student has qualified group 2 and he got exemption in paper 3 of group 1. Then such students shall write paper 1 and paper 2 in the new scheme and qualify self-paced online module set A. And next case, a student has qualified group 2 and he got exemption in paper 4 of group 1. Then such student shall write paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3 in the new scheme. Another case, a student has completed group 2 and he got exemption in paper 1 and paper 2 of group 1. Such student shall write paper 3 in the new scheme and they need to qualify in self-paced online module set A. Now another case, a student has completed group 2 and he got exemption in paper 1 and 3 of group 1. Then such student shall write paper 2 in the new scheme and qualify set A of the self-paced module. And another case, a student has qualified group 2 and got exemption in paper 1 and paper 4 of group 1. Then such student shall write paper 2 and paper 3 in the new scheme. And a student has completed group 2 and got exemption in paper 2 and paper 3 of group 1. Then such student shall write paper 1 in the new scheme and also they need to qualify self-paced online module set A. And a student has completed group 2 and he got exemption in paper 2 and paper 4 of group 1. Then such student shall write paper 1 and paper 3 in the new scheme. Student have completed group 2 and he got exemption in paper 3 and paper 4 of group 1 in the old scheme. Then such student shall write paper 1 and paper 2 in the new scheme. And if you are a student who belongs to still older scheme, you please refer to the transition provisions released by ICAI and follow accordingly. And even after going through all these things, if you still have any questions, doubts in your mind and if you seek any clarifications, you can send a mail to the Board of Studies academic at bos.nseticai.in. Now, the most important thing that students are having a lot of doubts. Sir, should I convert from old scheme to new scheme by myself or will it be done automatically? So here is the clarity regarding that. In case if you want to apply for new study materials that are applicable for May 2024 exams, you need to ensure that you have to convert under the new scheme manually. So how to convert? You just log into the SSP portal and log into the exam functions. There the option is given for converting from old scheme to new scheme and you have to apply for it, make a request, and after processing your request by ICAI, only then you have to apply for books, that is material, study material for May 2024 attempt. So to do that, what you have to do? You have to visit the SSP portal and you need to apply for conversion to the new scheme, which is free of cost. You need not pay any money for converting from old scheme to new scheme. So once your request has been approved by ICAI, then you can apply for study material on the CDS portal. And here is another important clarity for CA final students. For paper 6, IBS is based on the concepts that are dealt in from paper 1 to paper 5 and self-paced online modules of set A and set B. For that reason, there will be no separate study material for paper 6. And here is the most important point. If you don't want new study material, then you need not apply for conversion. It gets automatically converted to new scheme at the time of applying for exams under the new scheme. So here is the clarity. If you want the study material, new scheme study material for May 2024 exams, you need to convert yourself in the SSP portal immediately and you need to make a request to convert from old scheme to new scheme. And once your request is approved, only then you can order for new study material in the CDS portal. On the other hand, if you don't want new study material for May 2024 attempt, you need not convert. Your scheme will be automatically converted from old scheme to new scheme before May 2024 exams by ICAI. But here is a disclaimer. Please update yourself with the latest announcements and latest notifications by ICAI and follow accordingly. The information that we are presenting in this video is on 10/1/2024. Basing on that, we are making this video. But any latest information that is released by ICAI, you need to update yourself from ICAI website and follow accordingly. This is for your information. All the best. Thank you.